I'm living, I'm able, I'm breathing, I'm grateful. I'm living.
Is it true that Keith Haring had a Puerto Rican collaborator and the art world erased him? Yes, his name was Angel LA2 Ortiz. Angel LA2 Ortiz was the key co-creator in Keith Haring's early work, and museums and the art world later erased his name while continuing to profit from the art he helped create. So how did a white, middle-class suburban artist from Pennsylvania like Keith Haring start tagging and painting in some of New York City's toughest neighborhoods? Keith Haring grew up in the suburbs of Pennsylvania and came to New York City in the late 1970s to
Pennsylvania. Hold on, I want to look up where Keith Haring grew up. And I don't really know how I'm supposed to be doing this format. I'm just kind of doing whatever, y'all, so please forgive me. But, all right, let me look up where Keith Haring, I want to see. Pennsylvania. I'm guessing like Allentown or something. Reading. How far is that from Allentown? All right, whatever. It's like outside Philly. Okay, anyways.
Study art. After settling in downtown, he began spending time in the Lower East Side, while graffiti was already part of everyday life. It was there he encountered Angel LA2 Ortiz. Angel was a Puerto Rican artist from the Lower East Side. When they met, Angel was 14 years old. When Keith and Angel started collaborating, Keith painted alongside Angel as Angel guided him through the spaces he already knew. Angel showed Keith where he could paint, how he could move through the neighborhood, and how things worked on the streets. Their work began appearing together in public.
He was everything.
To mark clearly by both of their hands. They were photographed together, working alongside the same people and moved through the same spaces. Photos from the early 1980s show Angel, Keith Haring, and Basquiat together. I got to interview photographer and Lower East Side documentarian Clayton Patterson, who lived in the neighborhood during the time that this was all happening, and he documented how it unfolded. Clayton has clearly said that Angel was a collaborator from the very beginning.
Angel put him on.
That Angel was the one who taught Keith Haring how to tag. Angel's marks appear clearly on works that later circulated through galleries, museums, and publications. Angel used multiple tag names including LA2, LA Rock, and those names appear clearly across the work they made together. You can walk into spaces like the Museum of Modern Art, the Whitney Museum of American Art, the Brooklyn Museum, the Tate Modern, and see work labeled as Keith Haring where Angel Ortiz's tags and dense infills are clearly visible on the surface. One well-known example is a custom jacket and skirt made for Madonna, where Angel's tagging language is built directly into the design. According to Clayton, the way this collaboration was later framed changed after Keith Haring's death. In this process, Angel Ortiz was increasingly framed as his hired labor rather than a full collaborator on the work itself. So why did the art world erase Angel Ortiz and refuse to give him credit as Keith Haring's collaborator? Angel Ortiz has said openly that he believes race played a huge role in his erasure. In a televised interview, he said, "I don't think they want a real Puerto Rican up there on the top." This is where the story stands now. It is time for the art world and for major art institutions, including the Museum of Modern Art, the Whitney Museum of American Art, the Brooklyn Museum, and the Tate Modern, to give Angel Ortiz clear credit for his contributions. He was erased because he was young and because he was Puerto Rican. Because without Angel Ortiz, there is no Keith Haring. So did you know about Angel Ortiz? What do you think it will take for the art world to finally give him the credit he deserves? Is it true that...
Dang, that's such a bombshell, especially for like the art world. Well, maybe people already know, but I don't know. She's blowing the story off the cover. Shout out to Yulia. You are awesome, possum. Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard of Angel Ortiz. Everybody knows Keith Haring. Everybody knows, those not stick figure, but those figurative drawings all over the subway. But yeah, he was from PA. He was a hillbilly from nowhere. An angel from the city, from the LES. He put him on. Apparently, Mr. Angel Ortiz is still alive and well, apparently. So shout out to him. I'm gonna tap in as soon as I'm finished doing this, and yeah, much respect to Mr. Ortiz, and let's all check out his art. All right, let's keep going.
Running niggas down in they grooves. I'm sliding over cars while I shoot. I think that I'm Tom Cruise, but bitch, I'm Bobby with that tool. Running niggas down in they grooves.
I'm so curious. I need to know two things about you. One, how old are you? And two, do you meet strangers online? Do you befriend strangers online? Actually, let me word it that way. Write down in the comments, because generationally, I feel like people, older millennials, they don't have online friends or friends that they've met online. And I'm not talking about
I don't really have a lot of friends, period.
Mutuals on IG. Maybe you have a couple mutual friends and you never met each other in real life, but like you just follow each other, but you've never even really had a conversation. Maybe a little bit in the DMs, a little bit, but that's it. I'm talking about actual friendships. And how I define friendships is like, okay, like y'all become friends, but like there's also other people who have met in a similar way, and like y'all create a friendship group. I feel like that's something that's very unique to, I say, like starting from the zillennials
This guy seems like a young
to Gen Z.
You're
like
young.
yeah, I'm a zillennial.
I don't know, maybe I'm just old and lame.
Some of my closest friends are people that I've met in online communities. A whole bunch of my close friends I've met through Isaiah Rashad's Discord server.
I met a couple people but I don't really hang out with people like that. Oh shoot, what's going on?
Like he had a Discord server. We're not in a server.
I've never
anymore,
done that
but
before.
This was like back in pandemic, and like we go on trips annually. Like we hit each other up. Like we know each other now. Like we've met each other's families, and we're all chill and really dope. But I feel like it's a very new thing, because at least even when I was younger, it was like stranger danger. Like people online, you don't talk to people online. You don't talk to people you don't know in real life. Why is it any different online? But now I feel like I'm just seeing how much more common it is, like in the gaming community too. Like you could be on a game.
I wish I was a gamer. I feel like I'd have more friends.
Befriend some people on the game. Be on TikTok here. See people on TikTok live, and like, boom, and like now y'all are friends. And that's a very new thing. But like, it's definitely like correlated with age. I feel like maybe it's not. That's why I want to know. Like, how old are you? And have you befriended strangers online? Stay safe.
It's fine.
Let's keep them.
I have worked as both a prostitute and a private equity investor, and the two industries are much more inextricably linked than people realize, because they're largely run and operated by the same men.
Sorry.
My relationship to an understanding of power, especially in relation to men, shifted almost immediately after I was able to escape sex work and start a job as an associate at a New York-based private equity firm. I was working for and negotiating with the same types of men I used to be on seeking arrangements. The same men themselves in some cases.
Wow.
But now I was navigating the power I could wield with my mind opposed to my body. Managing partners in private equity are mostly men, and those men execute investment strategies that aren't all that different from how they exploit women. Private equity firms typically invest in more established businesses, often acquiring controlling ownership with the goal of restructuring, scaling, or optimizing these businesses before selling them at a profit. Private equity
is like the worst thing you can do, because they just extract value from a company, gut it, fire people lose their jobs, and yeah.
simply put, most commonly refers to an investment firm buying the majority stake or the entirety of a company. These companies are typically the kind that could be described as boring, stable, predictable, cash cows for private equity firms. The firms invest in these businesses, optimize them, we'll get to that, and sell them at a higher price than they paid. Here's how private equity actually works in plain English. Private equity firms raise massive amounts of money from big investors like pension funds, endowments, rich people. They use it, plus a lot of borrowed money, to buy companies. Once they own a company,
I'm not gonna watch all of this, but that's crazy. Yeah, the world's crazy. I don't know what to say.
I'll never forget that. Michael Jackson saved me from getting on a plane to that tiny island.
So they're saying Neverland is where Michael Jackson took children to protect them from what was being done on Epstein's island. And because he was going against their regime, they punished him and they flipped the script and made it appear as if he was the one abusing them, when in reality they were abusing them, and he was protecting the children, he was protecting the celebrities. And you have celebrities like Macaulay Culkin who have gone on record to protect and defend Michael Jackson. This all makes sense. It has finally come together. This man has been dead for so long.
He's been a scapegoat for all this for all the
now it's
pedophilia
coming
stuff.
together. Not only did he protect the children from the physical things that were being done to them, and you know what I'm saying, you just social media, gotta be careful, but he also were protecting them from the social and emotional abuses that were occurring by advising Britney Spears to get out from under her dad before the conservatorship and things of that nature.
Dang,
This man was a
I
lifesaver.
did not know he told Britney about that. I don't even know they knew each other like that. That's crazy.
Nonetheless, those of you who are like me, help me fact check this, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure this is right.
I'll never forget
Dang,
that.
man. Even though, like, I don't know Macaulay Culkin in real life, like, I feel like I've known him my whole life just because friggin' Home Alone and stuff. Anyways.
So somebody was shot at the 170th Street station on the platform in the Bronx and died. And this is allegedly the video that's connected to the incident. Check it out.
Oh, bro, shit. He died, bro. Shit. Kill him.
What the fuck? He popped though. I know I heard a gunshot. I swear I looked, bro. He popped his ass and he left.
Crime on the subways is still crazy, but this is the city that we live in now. A1, be safe. So,
man, rest in peace to that person. Subway's so dangerous. I just got laid off from my job in New York, so I don't take the subway no more, but yeah, man, it's dangerous. That's like, I think 170, that's like by Grand Concourse, kind of by the Yankee Stadium, off the D train. That's kind of like the craziest part of South Bronx. Grand Concourse is like the craziest part of Bronx, but senseless violence. It's so commonplace. Like, I'm probably like the 10th millionth person to say this on the internet, you know, criticizing gun violence. Because guns are, you mean, like, you could protect yourself, but I bet you this situation that happened was 1,000% unavoidable, or was 1,000% avoidable. Like, I'm sure it wasn't a life or death situation that these guys had to go about it that way. But rest in peace to the individual. Man, I hope we just gotta try to build a better world, y'all. It's very sad.
So let me just say, my name is Coriel Spajoles. I am the guy you were looking for in regards to this situation. The long and short of it is that here obviously at Dunkin, he's a regular. He normally comes through here and orders a large hot coffee. But today, maybe he's having a rough day or something, and he decided to be extremely profound at the mouth. And I asked him respectfully on the microphone, could you please not use that kind of language? You know, obviously with me and my employees. And as well as that, and he said no, and then he came around to the window. He kept going at the window, and then I guess he was going to come inside. So I came inside. I came on this side to let him know. He asked for the manager. Our current store manager is off already. She worked morning shift. She's currently otherwise here. So I would be for the senior shift. I've been here a little bit longer than he has, so I was reserving responsibility for that. In any case, I came out to let him know. I said, listen, sir, with the profanity that you used, I would highly recommend that you go on about your business. We don't want to serve you any coffee today. Maybe you can try again another day, but you have clearly upset, you feel me, the atmosphere here, and we would like for you to go on about your business. I asked him to do that repetitively. It's all on camera. He, as I mentioned, came inside, and when he came inside, he addressed me and he was looking. I said, hey, listen, the manager's not here right now. I'll give you the manager's store number and all that good stuff. And he didn't want it. And I said, sir, well, can you please go on about your business again and have a good day? He said, no, you're a nigger. And then I said, and I'm sorry, I had a little bit of an issue with it. And I said, say it again, and he did. Right hook, send him down.
So it goes without being said that you can't hit somebody because they say something you don't like.
I very well.
I'm just telling you, brother.
No, I agree. Believe me. I'm terrified right now, but I agree with what you're saying. You shouldn't. I have had a fit of racism since I've only been here about 2 months, and I've dealt with so much of it. And I'm not saying that is a reason to do it. I'm not.
I got people that say a bunch of hateful and horrible stuff to me every single day. For the past 16 years, I let it go in one ear and out the other. It ain't gonna hurt you. This will get you in trouble.
No, I mean, yeah, words are words, but those are words of racial violence and threat. Like, that's a Caucasian cop saying that. To make that equivalent, you would have to have like Caucasians enslaved for hundreds of years and have a word created to, you know, disrespect them, and then have that word said to you again when you're still living in a society that's racist towards you. It's not equivalent, and that cop is making a false equivalency.
Trying to get you arrested, but I mean, dude, you hit him and he fell down.
Yeah, and he hit his head pretty good.
And he should have never said what he said. But guess what? That's the country we live in. You say what you want to say.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, like you're saying, dude, get the freak out.
Yeah.
Slipped and fall, pushed and fell.
Right hook and fell. My apologies for the.
He was hit and he fell down.
Keep it down. I don't want this other. You hit him. You punched him and he fell.
I'm not one to run from mine from what I've done.
No, you're fine.
And again, he's a regular, so I honestly feel like about this situation.
All right, no worries. Some guys have to go ask you.
Yes, sir. You should take it easy.
Howdy. Gentleman came in, was being very rude to this gentleman, which is. I'm not trying to get on to you, man.
Yeah, we knew, of course.
I'm not trying to get on to you, man.
Yeah, no.
You can't let, and I'm telling you from here on out, you can't let what somebody says anger you.
Yeah.
Said, I deal with it and I let it go on. I mean, people say nasty and hateful stuff to him and I just
believe me,
I job.
I know.
For no reason.
I know it.
But you can't go around saying crazy things and not expect someone to react.
You're gonna have like that throughout your life. You just gotta let it go in one ear and right out the other. And just realize that he's gonna leave and be on his.
I'm trying to think if the situation was different, would it be the same outcome? Yeah, he unalived somebody, man. That's kind of
way, and you're gonna still be here working, you know. So we'll let them get him loaded up and everything like that. Just do what you gotta do, bro. I'll be in here in a minute.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
You're cool. You're good to go, man. Thank you.
It started moments earlier in the drive-thru. Employees couldn't hear Cook through the speaker. He became agitated, began yelling, and was told to leave without being served. Instead, he parked and walked inside. A Dunkin employee who dealt with Cook at the drive-thru told officers the same story Pujols did.
So basically, he was just being, outright rude when your card is going through. But he was just being
for what reason?
Verbal. I asked him if he wanted iced or hot coffee. He instantly was like cold coffee. He was like, who the fuck likes cold coffee? I always ask for the same. Y'all always get it wrong. I'm like, okay, sir, we cannot hear and identify you at the window.
So he got mad because you asked him if he wanted ice or hot coffee.
Yeah. Instantly awkward. He was already mad.
He was mad about something else, and that's just what set him off.
A large hot latte. Okay, gotcha. So instantly he was just
sure
above level. So he was being very verbal. Didn't want to listen to what we were saying. So Corey was like. He got on the mic because I've only been here for like just 3 weeks.
Sure.
But I've had Dunkin experience, so.
Well, that shouldn't be a normal reaction of somebody.
It shouldn't be a normal reaction, so he didn't want to. Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so yeah, he was being really verbal for absolute no reason. So Corey got on the mic because he's the veteran here, the more experienced veteran.
Sure.
So he took over the mic and was like, "Can you not talk to the customer?" Like that.
I'm not trying to get.
We knew Corey was gonna. So me and Corey went up there to wait and tell him to leave again. He didn't want to listen again, so we asked him to leave multiple times, and that's when he called Corey the N-word, and it escalated from there.
What did you see from happen from there?
From what I seen,
Okay, so Corey was charged with aggravated manslaughter after he punched a 77-year-old. Oh, wow. He was 77. He pleaded not guilty but agreed to change his plea for a lesser charge of felony battery. In addition to house arrest, a judge sentenced him to 3 years of probation, 200 years of community service. You know, that's not too bad of a deal, you know. He didn't have to spend no time in the prison. And he's an old man too. Like, you should know better. Like,
I heard him telling Corey told me to call the cops off rip. So I was calling the cops, I was calling my manager, I was calling everybody. And the dude, he kept on, being violent.
Yo, like,
so when you say violent, like physically violent,
you know, like, play stupid games, stupid prizes.
Mentally, trying to get into Corey's mind.
And you're 77. You should not be provoking people like that.
Then Corey, he was like, "Okay, we're gonna ask you one more time. We're gonna either, you're gonna leave, or we're gonna call the cops." I was already called the cops, so he didn't want to leave. He was like, "There's a bunch of niggas, this, that, and third, your nicknames." Corey was like, "One more time," and he called him another nick. And
no, he kept going. It wasn't just like a one time.
And I was on the phone.
Oh my God, he was just flagrant with it.
At that time, police officer at that time, and that's what happened.
So what happened after that? After he said that,
Corey punched him. He was on the floor, and I was on the phone.
Okay, and you were standing like
right around here. On the phone.
Okay. Is he? And Corey said he's a normally regular. He comes through here.
He comes here a lot, and he's very, like verbal. Like I guess he doesn't know how to, be respectful. So
normal people know how to be respectful. He choose not to be.
He wasn't being respectful.
I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah. So he does this a lot. I've had multiple times where I've had to go through it. He gets mad because we don't know his order. But we don't know your order because we cannot physically see your face.
Sure. Hello.
Nah, dude.
Manager?
He's like an old.
Okay.
So we live in a patriarchal society, and old men have enjoyed that. I mean, men today still are enjoying the patriarchy in society, but they, especially the older men, and they think they can go around and just like be king of the world or something, but it's crazy. Getting mad at people because they don't know your order, like. Yeah, man. I used to go to a food stand every day when I worked this one place, and they knew my order because I was there every day. But there'd be times when I would have to tell them something. I don't know, but they can't see your face. You're at a drive-thru. Are you dumb?
Are you able to A, get a thumb drive, or B, if we're able to get the video, can you email it? What's better for you?
I'll have it emailed to you.
Okay.
I'll have my law prevention guy.
Okay.
Send it to you.
Let me go.
We knew Corey.
Yeah, man. Like I don't think death, killing is or unaliving is the answer, but it's like, man, what were you expecting? It's like if I was to go to a military base and start acting crazy and calling them XYZ, like they'll probably take some action too. And I don't know, that's pretty cool.
On-duty manager, acting manager for all
going.
The Black Panthers did have non-black members.
Hey, the gym's not so.
The Black Panthers did have non-black members that were in their ranks. Most notably was this man, Richard Aoki. He was Japanese, and he joined the Black Panthers very early. literally when they first started. He rose to the ranks of the Black Panthers relatively quick. He became a field marshal, and he was the only Asian American to have a formal leadership position in the Black Panthers. He ended up becoming an educator in California and also a school counselor. If you thought this was going to be a feel-good story, it's not. When he died in 2009, someone did a Freedom of Information Act request to see what the FBI had on him when he was a Black Panther. Come to find out, he was working for the FBI for 15 years. He was a confidential informant. He had been...
I wonder why I didn't hear a lot about him, because I remember seeing his picture before, but apparently there were other Panthers that were federal informants. But let it be known that the DPRK flew out members of the Panther Party. And yeah.
Telling the FBI everything that he learned about the Black Panthers. It even says, informant is a stable young man showing traits of maturity and poise. He handles himself as an intelligent, trustworthy individual. In 1977, according to this document, he reached out to the FBI and said that he didn't want to seek any more information for them. This is about 5 years before the Black Panthers ceased operations, so they were already going downhill at this point. The Black Panthers did have non-black members that were in their ranks. Most notably was this man, Richard Aoki. He was Japanese, and he joined the Black Panthers very early, literally when they first started. He rose to the ranks of the Black Panthers relatively quick. He became a field marshal, and he was the only Asian American to have a formal leadership position in the Black Panthers. He ended up becoming an educator in California and also a school counselor. If you thought this was going to be a feel-good story, it's not. When he died in...
We have now indicted the individual responsible for attacking Nafiah Ikram with acid outside her home in Elmont in 2021. That individual is Terrell Campbell.
What?
He was arraigned this morning.
He's wearing a lot of red. Is he Mac Baller or Brim?
In Manila on charges of 2 counts of assault in the 1st degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the 4th degree, and unlawful possessing noxious materials. He was remanded by Judge Joy Watson. If convicted, he faces up to 25 years in prison. We have now indicted.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad. He threw a cup of acid in her face and drove off. He was a flower delivery driver. That's crazy. Why did he do it? Someone paid him? That's sad.
So you may have heard that modern whales evolved from wolf-like creatures. This is Pakicetus, thought to be an ancestor of the whales. But it seems like evolution may be doing a 360 right now, because these wolves, the sea wolves, they are returning to the sea. There is a small population of grey wolves off the coast of British Columbia who are living a life which is pretty much entirely marine-based. They have been recorded eating fish, otters, seals, even scavenging on whale carcasses. And this guy here is even chewing on some kelp. They have even been recorded swimming distances of like 13 kilometers to reach other islands, which is like 7.5 miles in freezing cold waters. So yeah, pretty cool to see. So you may...
One sad thing though is the first wolf died from mercury poisoning because they started eating exclusively on salmon. And because of human pollution, salmon have a lot of mercury in them. So that's kind of a sad thing. We need to, and the mercury pollution is caused by chlorine production and gold production and something else. I can't remember what the other one was, but we use gold in our electronics and computers. So that's something to think about. I have an old phone. This was like $100 used because I use used phone, and this computer was used. It was refurbished. I like to, like, because if there's more sustainable options, man, we should go about it because there's pollution going on, and it's killing wolves because their diets are changing to adapt to how we mess with their environments. Yeah.
A black woman to own restaurants started by an award-winning chef cannot get influencers to come and support them. Well, I'm not really a food influencer, but I do love to eat, and I thought I'd bring you guys with me to get some dinner tonight. So come with me to Chelsea! Marquette was recently opened by Michelin award-winning chef India Doris, who combines her Caribbean heritage with fine dining techniques to make food that is both personal and elevated. And despite glowing reviews, they've had a hard time getting the word out because influencers want to charge them thousands of dollars for reviews. I did their $60 Restaurant Week special, starting with their salt cod fritters, which were packed with potatoes, scallions, and salt-cured cod with a red pepper aioli. These were spicy, salty, and crispy. I would come back just to eat these. Next was their half-pound peri-peri chicken, served deboned and topped with peri-peri sauce and buttermilk ranch with a slaw salad on the side. This could easily feed 2 people, but I powered through the whole thing. And for dessert, I got this beautiful blood orange cheesecake with a flaky oat crust and fresh oranges. I was stuffed, but you better believe I didn't waste one bite. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the busiest restaurants in New York City once word gets out, so I would recommend you beat the rush and go here immediately.
I wish I wasn't such a picky eater because I would make so much more food content. But there's so much food that I just don't eat just because I'm such a weird picky eater. But maybe I'll check it out. Well, I don't live in. I moved out of New York. So I don't know when the next time I'll be back up there to do that, but maybe I'll check it out one day.
Yo, we brim, we blood. We blood. Fuck everybody.
What? This is definitely New York. I don't know why. I don't know why this happened, but yeah, it definitely.